The following program is paid for by the friends and partners of Joyce Meyer Ministries.
You know, many of you have probably experienced God's protection and guidance throughout your life, and it's been a wonderful journey. But there are many, many, multiplied millions of people in the world who have not experienced that, but they need to. Maybe you've had some traumatic circumstance in your life. I was sexually abused throughout my childhood, and I can look back now and I can see how God really helped me go through that situation. I have some very important things that I want to talk to you about today, and I'm also going to share the story of a young man that was on the path to certain destruction. And I hope between my teaching and his story that it's going to encourage you to make the changes in your life that you might need and also inspire you to reach out and help others.
Trevor Carr just graduated from Victory Bible Institute. Most of the people in his life, including Trevor, didn't see this day coming. Throughout his childhood, his mind was overcome with rage, and his heart suffocated in darkness.
It would feel like this big, empty, black hole inside the house, like there was nobody else there except me. And anger, depression, just feeling alone, not feeling like I belong in this world. Like, what's my purpose?
In my mind, I said to myself, and I said to Brenda, I'm what this boy needs. I can change his life. I can give him the role model. I can be the father he needs. I can be the father he's never had. I can teach him right and wrong. I can make him into a man that everyone's going to be proud of. And boy, did I meet my match. I had no clue what I was getting into.
He was kicked out of daycare facilities, expelled from several elementary schools. Eventually, some family members didn't want Trevor in their lives anymore.
It was so sad to see a little toddler or child running around with all this anger and bitterness and things. It just, when I saw my friends' kids, they had happy things to talk about, and they asked me, "How's your son? What is he doing? What is he up to?" I couldn't really say anything happy.
Extreme, violent, and aggressive behavior. He would bite his own self just almost to the point of drawing blood. It progressed to him getting knives and coming after me, trying to stab me with a knife. And I'm talking, he was still very young. He set booby traps in the house, like tripwires where when your ankle crossed it when you walk across, some sort of a projectile, whether it be a knife or needles or something come across it, like face level or something. This is just all progressed and kept getting worse and worse and worse. We went to a lot of different types of clinics, psychologists. We went to church groups, church psychologist groups. Every single one of them says to us as a family, or to me and my wife, you've come to the right place. We've seen this before. We can help you.
He's mentally ill. He's got bipolar, schizophrenia, autism, explosive disorder, ADD, ADHD, depressive disorder. I mean, you name it. They labeled me.
And the longest one we probably ever went to was a month and a half to 2 months. And virtually every single counselor, it was almost like a recording. They would call me and my wife in without Trevor. And every one of these counselors would look at us with tears running down their face. And they would say, my God, I feel so sorry for you and your wife. Well, I was wrong. I can't help you. You're going to have to take him away. I don't want to see him anymore. We can't help you. We will pray for you and your wife. And may God help you for having to live with this. And I'll never forget any of those things. It was so hard. And we didn't know what to do.
I almost didn't feel all this was real. When everyone told us no, there's no answer, I really didn't know what to do. I felt like a failure as a mother. I didn't think that I was doing the right thing as a mother. Teachers, principals, my family even, everybody in my world was telling me to just give up.
He spent time in mental facilities before the age of 12. He stayed at a Christian boys' home until they felt he was too dangerous to himself and others. A well-known child psychologist tried to help him, but eventually he too gave up.
He finally called us in one day, and he told us, "Look, I've never seen anybody like this. This kid has the mind of Hitler." And he said, "You and your wife, you need to give him up to the state." He said, "You and your wife can never handle him. You and your wife will never be able to raise him. You and your wife will never be able to make him fit into society." And this guy looked us in the eye and said, "This kid will one day be a mass murderer, and he'll be in prison for the rest of his life." And he said, "If you don't get him out of your house, he's going to kill you and your wife." And he said, "You need to give him up to the state. You need to wash your hands of him, and you need to just give him up."